What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 16 review. Want to remind you guys that I am interviewing Mel's mom, Miss Vanessa. Actually, I'll be interviewing her next Sunday. So the interview will be up the following week. I'll probably drop it a few hours before that Saturday night's episode. So down below in the comment section, let me know any questions that you guys want me to ask her. Remind you to be respectful. I'm really excited about the interview and can't wait for you guys to see it. Also, I'll be interviewing the main cast for my upcoming film, Paper Heart. I'll be dropping an interview every week after next week. So get ready for that. Can't wait for you guys to see it. So excited for the premieres in December. The movie will be available on Tubi and IMDb or BD, however you say it. After that, I'll have all the information for you guys soon. I'll have a trailer for you guys soon. I'm so excited for you to see my first film. So excited, so excited. But anyway, let's get into tonight's episode. Woo, child, we got a lot to talk about. This was a draining episode filled with highs and lows, child. I got so many notes. Whoa. Okay, so in tonight's episode, Marcel visits Mel at her office. The others are joining them to discuss bringing back the comeback group, even though Mel Ben said that she didn't want to be a part of it no more. I thought we was done with the comeback group, child. I thought the comeback group had went away and ain't gonna never be seen again because it ain't shit to come back from. But however, everybody comes to Mel's office to discuss them regrouping and trying to come back together again. So we also found out they never officially dissolved the comeback group, which I was very shocked about too as well. So everybody, Marcel brings up seeing Wanda, a fish called Wanda, and Miss Vanessa arguing at the Destiny race. Mel was like, what she said to my mother, wasn't cool. And Marcel says, why you walking up to someone saying that you don't say that? Mel in her confession was like, he didn't have a problem with it last year when he was spreading rumors about my mother. And if you remember last season, Martell had, in a roundabout way, alleged that Miss Vanessa had a sex tape, which was some of the most disgusting shit I've ever heard. Like that, this woman got a sex tape, really. And so I wish instead of Mel saying that in her confession, she would have said that to his motherfucking face. Because you got your nerves. Like, don't try to be team Mel, but he low-key want to fuck her. Not even low-key, high-key. He got such a crush on Mel, child, ain't even funny. So the rest of the crew arrive. I loved Kimmy's little shirt dress. So cute. Martell walks in with one of his two little shirts on, and the nigga had the nerve to unbutton the top few buttons, I guess to think that it was going to give him a little bit more room, but it didn't. Nigga still looking like a vacuum sealed plastic bag. Like, where are you going with these skeet ass clothes? Like, we need to start a donation fund, a GoFundMe for Martell, for him some new fucking clothes. I'm so tired of his clothes screaming for help every fucking episode. That's why the nigga's so angry he can't breathe. So, Martell in his confession gonna say, soon as I didn't renew that lease, Melody threw pictures on the wall talking about how their former office is now her office. And I was like, you couldn't renew the lease, nigga, because you didn't have no money to pay the goddamn rent, you fool. I'm like, he try to act like he's so big up, and nigga, you are broke. Boy, bye. So Kimmy says that she wanted to talk because before starting a new venture, she wanted to discuss the comeback group and like, what are we gonna do with this shit? So Kimmy was like, Mel wanted to dissolve it and we didn't. Mel was like, I officially pulled out in 2019. Mel makes sure to remind these motherfuckers, I don't want to have nothing to do with this. So Marcel was like, you pull out to not have a baby, making a joke or whatever. Mel sitting there like, okay, really don't get it. Not that funny, but all right. So everybody's laughing. And Mel was like, speaking of kids, Martell, where are the kids? And he was like, in your office. And she was like, what? They in my office? Like, cause first of all, you didn't even tell me you was bringing the kids, and how dare you just walk up in my shit like you still own the place? Like, the fuck is going on here? So he like, what? And she was like, they in my office. He was like, they ain't about to turn up nothing. So she gets up and she was like, no, they're always up here. However, I'm gonna speak to my kids if they're here and make sure they keep my office in check. Like, duh. Like, of course I'm gonna go speak to my kids if they're fucking here. I'm gonna go get up and acknowledge my children. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you Nimrod? So Mel goes and hugs and kisses the kids, and they're so excited and so happy to see her because it's obvious that this is one of his weeks and her weeks off from the kids. So back in the office, Kimmy says, you wanted to be in and she wanted to be out, talking about Mel and Martell. Martell says, I'm still for the community. Marceau was like, we need to figure out how we're going to have decent meetings. Like, because since we've been around each other again, like it ain't been nothing but contention and arguing between Mel and Martell. And don't nobody got time to be dealing with that. So Mel comes back in and she sits down. She was like, so are we taking a vote on who wants to be in and who don't? Marceau was like, individually, if we see a project, we can be like the comeback group can be a part of that. Then we can organize and go forward. Mel was like, that sounds great. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be a part of it. And she does like this to Martell. And everybody looking like, what you rolling your neck for him? And Martell was like, why you upset with me? And Mel was like, let me tell y'all about the sneaky snake stuff he did. He was like, sneaky snake. She was like, when I'm watching our daughter, for you to go to a meeting to pitch someone else to build on something you have expressed to the realtor, Chris, I know y'all had a meeting with the realtor, Chris. She says this to Marceau and Martell. She was like, where y'all tried to throw jabs about me building on the 47 acres. Now, I don't know if this is the conversation she talked about that we saw a few episodes back where Martell fooled and went behind the realtor Chris and Marceau's back to have this meeting and didn't let the other one know that the other one was going to be there. I don't know if she's talking about that or she's talking about something else that happened. I'm thinking she's talking about that though. So come to find out, when he had that meeting, he asked her to watch little mama, the little baby, while he went to go handle some business. Lo and behold, the business that he was going to handle was trying to make sure she didn't have nothing to do with this 47 acres. Like, how the fuck? Like, nigga, really? Really, nigga? Girl, I would feel some type of way too. Like, you want me to do you favors, but then you going behind my back trying to make sure that I don't have, food on my table, trying to take, food off my table for me and our kids to fucking eat. I'm the only breadwinner in this motherfucker. You ain't got a pot to piss in. So Martell was like, there were no jabs. Mel was like, oh, okay, we'll all see it. Talking about we gonna see it on the goddamn show. She broke the fourth wall, and I was like, yes, Mel. So Marcel was like, were you there? And she was like, I talked to the person who was. So Martell was like, man, we've been good. Something happened. And Mel was like, I'll tell you if you shut your mouth. And I was like, okay, now that was a bit much, Mel. That wasn't even necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't have to go there. So Martell was like, you ain't gonna be disrespecting me like that. And Mel was like, I'm not interested in doing anything that has to do with Martell. And I agree. I mean, they can't even be in the same room with each other. So why would she want to then work with him? Like, hell no. So Martell was like, you didn't want to do this years ago. Mel was like, all of us were into it. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, all of us were into it. So Martell was like, and it stemmed from you. Now he trying to blame everything on Mel, like he didn't have a part of it, like he didn't have a play a part in it too. And I was like, this dude loves to fucking deflect. So Mel was like, it didn't. I would love to continue doing what I've been doing since 2019. And basically that meant doing her. And Martell had to say something smart. And he was like, what, neglect the kids? And I was like, oh God, geez. Everybody at the table was like, oh my God, like, why did you say that? Like, what she said when she told him, if you shut your mouth, was wrong. And then he had to be even wronger by saying once again that she neglects the kids and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, why does he continue to say stupid, ignorant ass shit like that to this woman? And I was like, yeah, he does it because he knows that's the quickest and easiest way to get under her skin and to hurt her. So, he gets up to leave. But I felt like Martell was more so mad that once again Mel is taking another bag away from him. He knows that she's doing well with or without the comeback group, doing anything with him or whatever. She good and he ain't. And he mad that she will not throw him a motherfucking bone. And I don't fucking blame her. So Martell takes off his mic and goes in her office to get the kids. Mel says to the other comeback group members, why do you want to do business with Martell? People ask me all the time, do you think y'all ever get back together? And the answer is no. It has nothing to do with him cheating on me or having a baby, but everything to do with the morals and integrity and the man I've seen you to be. And I was like, baby, you better speak a motherfucking word. You better speak it. Speak it from the depths of your motherfucking soul, man. Because I'm like, why would y'all even want to do business with him, y'all self? Like, y'all seen how he moves. Like, he is messy. He is a girl. He is a bitch. Like, so why would y'all want to do business with somebody like that? Like, y'all see he ain't about shit, he ain't got shit, and he ain't gonna ever be shit. So Martell walks out with the kids, and as he's walking out, you hear Mariah say, but that was so quick. But Dad, every time it's so quick, like she trying to like talk to him and get his attention, but he just trying to leave because he's having a hissy fit. So back inside the office, Mel was like, y'all have seen it too, so why are y'all so dead set on doing business with him? Maurice says all of us had a good working relationship. If we could eliminate the BS, we can work well together. Well, sir, when you have two people in this group that just literally had a divorce, a horrible divorce at that, how do you ever think that they're going to be able to work with each other if they can't even sit in the same room without arguing after 5 minutes? Like, just be smart about the situation, Maurice. Like, read the room, sir. So Martell then pulls off. Marceau was like, it don't take me long to learn the lesson. Marceau was like, yeah, you ain't got to tell me twice. Like, sis, this is a wrap. Won't be working with him. And so Maurice was like, y'all were everything to each other, interwoven completely. Nigga, that's the past. Like, the fuck? We're not even together no more. We're fucking divorced. So Mel was like, then why am I okay? And Marceau was like, because you're winning. Had you been losing, your ass wouldn't be in a great place. But see, that's the thing. She's winning because at the core of her, she still is a good person. Mel got her messy ways, like we all do. Things about her that she needs to work on, like we all do. But compared to Martell, that is like apples and oranges, child. And she's doing good because she obviously does right by people and she handles her business, whereas we see Martell is messy, he lazy, he takes the shortcut route on everything, and he doesn't really want to put in the work. So and God is blessing her, and God ain't gonna bless no mess. So Martell calls Mel and asks her to talk to Mariah because she crying real bad, and he was like, I'm gonna bring her back so you can talk to her. And my heart broke. One thing Keisha love is the kids. I have a soft spot when it comes to kids. I make Joan and play and all that type of stuff. But at the core of me, I do not like to see children hurt. I just do not. Like, I teared up and was crying over here because it just took me back to my own child and my own childhood. You know what I'm saying? And seeing your parents argue and fight and how it affects your children and how it affects you growing up, and like, those scars are scars that you carry on with you for life. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that little girl crying just tore my heart. So at that point, obviously the meeting is over. Mel takes her mic off and goes out to the car. And I love the fact that she took her mic off. Of course, the camera still followed her. Mariah is in the car, boo-hoo crying, covering her face. And she's at that age now where she's about to be a little young adult. She looked like she about maybe 12 years old at this point, almost. She's, getting a little boobies and things of that nature. So this has to be very hard on her. Her body is changing. Her family has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has this television show. I'm pretty sure the kids at her school talk about the show, talk about, her parents and stuff. Who knows what the shit that kids at school might be saying to her. It got to be a lot. And my suggestion would be get these kids off this show. They really need to go. They really need to go because it's bad enough everything else that they're going through, and to have cameras in their face documenting it, it's not going to make it any better. They've been through enough. Let them just be children and be in counseling to deal with their traumas and their pain and navigating, their new normal, which is being children of divorced parents. So Mel takes Mariah into her office and closes the door. Martell in his confessional says Mariah was crying as we were leaving. No, she wouldn't. I looked at the clip, she was perfectly fine. He says when they got in the car, she mentioned that the office used to be yours and mommy's, and now it's just mommy's. You was a goddamn lie. That girl didn't fucking say that shit. And I know how she didn't say it, because in your confessional, you said as soon as you walked into the office, it fucked you up because it used to be y'all office and now it's just Mel's office. That little girl didn't say that shit. You said that damn shit like you was feeling some type of way. I don't bit more think that was what upset that child. The child probably heard y'all arguing. Not even probably. I'm pretty sure she heard y'all arguing. I'm pretty sure even though that door was closed, she had her up to the door, because that's what kids her age do, want to be in grown folks business and want to see what's going on. And she heard y'all arguing, and she probably heard the fuck shit you said to her goddamn mama, and the fact that this little girl wants her mom and dad to be back together. We have seen that on the episode, what was that, 2 weeks ago, that her and Tank want y'all to be back together. So every time she sees y'all arguing and stuff, it just shows her once more that damn, my mama and daddy don't fuck with each other, and they're not gonna ever get back together. All my hopes and dreams and what I'm asking for and praying for probably isn't gonna come true, and it hurts her. It hurts her. So the crew is outside talking to Martell, and Martell was like, I know I shouldn't hit below the belt, but when certain things hit me, I have to fight back. Y'all, you sound like a goddamn 5-year-old. Like, will somebody on this show be a fucking adult about this situation? Like, for the kids, if nothing else. So, Marceau was like, please internalize this. Stop putting this shit out there. And I was like, about time somebody stepped to him on some man shit. Like, stop saying that shit that this girl don't fuck with her kids. Stop saying that shit. Your kids gonna see this shit, probably seeing this shit, gonna hear about this shit. Stop saying that fuck shit about they fucking mama. Stop saying that shit. She never once said that you were a horrible father. She always says how good of a father you are to them kids. Stop doing that to her just to hurt her. So Marceau was like, you see what's in the car? This is a lifelong battle. You don't get this back. Like, basically saying you don't get this time back. Like, you can't go back and erase the things that you say and do. And he was like, you're going to be explaining the same story to your kids when you're 60. Stop it. And I was like, this was the most I think I have ever liked Marceau ever in my life, because he spoke some real shit to his ass. And somebody needs to check his ass and tell him to grow the fuck up. And the same to fucking Mel. So Martell in his confessional, he's staring off into space and shit. And he was like, I definitely feel embarrassed that we're continuing to display that we can't control ourselves. We have to have a different approach, a more respectful approach. I mean, it's easy for you to say that, but when are y'all gonna start doing it? And I say y'all because they both need to grow up. They both need to stop it. Like, stop it. I know it's great for ratings and for us to watch and kiki about it, but this is y'all real life. Y'all gonna have to deal with this shit, and this is not a good look for anybody, especially your children. So Marceau and Maurice play tennis, and he says that he wouldn't dare do business with Martell right now with the way he acts, and I was like, I couldn't agree with you more, Marceau. So then Maurice tells him that Dr. Francis is actually a good therapist. Marceau, however, disagrees, of course. Maurice, in his confessional, says Marceau's thought process on therapy doesn't seem like he's put enough thought into it. No, that ain't got shit to do with it. Your brother don't want to fucking go to goddamn therapy because he don't want to be exposed before the bullshitter and manipulator that his ass fucking is. That's why he don't want to go to fucking therapy. So Tisha and Mel visits Kimmy at Scott Emporium. I guess is another subsidiary business of the Scotts. Kimmy was like, how was Mariah? And Mel was like, she doing good. I think it was either her feeling the energy from her dad because he left upset. Plus, mommy said that she was going to come see them before they left. And I didn't get that chance. And I was like, bingo. Like, at least Mel can be honest about what the fuck is going on with the kids and not lie. So Kimmy was like, how do we help you with Martell when things like that come up? And Mel was like, what? That's a good question. She said and thought about it for a second. And she finally was like, what? Just don't have us in the same room no more until he grows up some. And I was like, about time, because y'all filming with each other this season was a horrible goddamn idea. a horrible idea. They do not need to be in the same room with each other. They do not need to be at the same events. They do not need to do confessionals with each other. They just simply do not. But the comment where she says, until he grows up some, the same goes to you too, ma'am. The same goes to you too, because you just as childish as he is in certain cases. So Mel says to Kimmy, was your issue that Tiffany and Destiny were in the same text message group? Was that the reason why you was feeling some type of way towards Tisha? So Kimmy was like, historically, she's called me. I think because we weren't good that she did that. Tisha was like, that's not true. Who do I believe in this? I think that Tisha was being passive aggressive. I think that she did do that on purpose. Include Kimmy in that text message thread about the girls donating and her not to be passive aggressive. I do believe that. But when it comes to Kimmy, of all the things you could get mad about finally with Tisha, this is the thing you get mad about. My thing is, why didn't you ever confront her about the shit that you saw with her and Kiowa, where she had Kiowa over to her house and let Kiowa talk cash money shit about you, and you never checked her? Not on television, we didn't see. Now that's what you should have been mad about, not no damn text message thread, which to me makes it feel like you're being passive aggressive, because you ain't mad about this shit for real. You're mad about all the other shit that Tisha asked and did, like her allowing her mama to be disrespectful and for her talking shit about you with the ops. Like, y'all both being petty. So Kimmy was like, I think it got blew out of proportion because we weren't in a good place. And Tisha says, and she was just being petty by getting mad about it. Of course, Kimmy felt some type of way about her calling her petty. So Kimmy says that it was that she said Mel and Destiny were the only ones that sponsored the Destiny run, which was another passive aggressive dig at Kimmy. Kimmy was like, we've given checks for everything that y'all have done. We've done a lot. Tisha was like, we have too. Kimmy was like, it doesn't compare to the amount of checks we write for y'all. Now we going tit for tat about I do more for you than you do for me, and they arguing back and forth. And then at some point, Tisha says that she's just tired of arguing and she just wanted to stop. And she was like, from now on in the future, I'll call. But it's obvious that things are still not kosher between these two, because they're just putting a band-aid on it for now. You know what I'm saying? And the shit is still leaking underneath. It's so much hurt feelings and anger there between both of them. And until they address what the real issue is, they're going to continue to argue about this stupid shit. So Martell is at his work site with Fred with that dumbass Gilligan's Island fucking hat on, looking like a goddamn stupid creep. Fred was like, how's the studying coming along? Martell was like, I got motivated one night when them kids was there and I opened up the book and I just didn't finish. I haven't studied. I ain't a good test taker. You got it though. We partners. You got it. Once again, showing what I said to y'all. He lazy as fuck. He don't really want to get no fucking business license, because in his mind, shit, I'm good as long as you good. As long as you got the license and we in business together, why should I have to go get it? Same reason why he didn't get it while he was married with Mel. Mel passed the test, so he was looking like, well, shit, she got it, I'm good. But you ain't good, because if y'all fall out, like you and your ex-wife did, then what the fuck are your ass, what the fuck is your ass gonna do when you sitting up here with no fucking builder's license once again? Like, see, he didn't even learn the lessons that God's trying to teach his ass. Like, you have the perfect opportunity to get your fucking license and you still don't want to do it because you're a lazy ass goddamn bum. You too busy out here wanting to stick dick all around fucking Huntsville and not take care of your fucking business. You say you want to be back on top. You want to be on top, but you don't want to do what it takes to be on top. And you wonder why Mel blessed and your ass ain't. So, Mel then FaceTime him, and Fred was like, oh Lord, because everybody know at this point, when these two niggas get together, it's about to be a Royal Rumble up in this bitch. So she asked if she swing by to talk, and Martell in his confession was like, I screwed up last night. And I was like, Lord, what didn't happen? So, Mel pull up in her Range Rover. Martell walks a little bit down the street to meet her because he don't want Fred overhearing this conversation or whatever, because he like to lie and be able to spin things his way. So Mel was like, I wanted to talk to you about what happened at Bridge Street. I want to have a conversation about boundaries and respect. What happened was totally out of line. Martell was like, when you do stuff, it's cool. You do stuff all the time on social media. You went straight to social media that I had a baby. And Mel was like, that's true though. And, like, huh? What does A have to do with B? Like, the fuck does me finally admitting to the world that your ass got a baby on the way after you tried to go on social media and call me all kind of bad mamas and say I don't take care of my kids got to do with you a year or so later seeing me on a date with somebody else and acted a goddamn plum fool? What does one have to do with the other, sir? Nothing. So Mel was like, that's true. Martell was like, so when I see you with a dude, it was a shocker to me. I had all intentions to come over there. Mel was like, for what? He was like, because I wanted to. You wanted to because you was pressed and you feel some type of way. We all said, as soon as Mel be out here thotting and bopping on her whole shit, that nigga gonna fucking slit his wrist sideways because he not gonna be able to handle seeing her with somebody else. And God forbid she get her a Russell. Baby, she get her a Russell. His future, his career, his life gonna really go down the drain like Future's child. So Mel was like, you had a business meeting with someone who flew out from LA. You step out of a business meeting, a potential deal to address your ex-wife about her being in public with somebody and you got them waiting on you. Martell was like, it don't matter. And that's why you in the position you in now, because your priorities are all the way fucked up. Ain't no way in hell a nigga in your goddamn position where you ain't got shit. That's why you up here wearing thrift store Gilligan's Islands hats and shit. Gonna leave a potential deal that could put food on your table and food in your kid's mouth and help your broke ass situation to go be messy and go try to check your ex-wife. Girl, please. So he told me it don't matter. So Mel was like, when you talk about your business reputation and trying to get things back where you want them to be, that's childish. He told me, so I would rather do something in your face than on a computer. Mel was like, I have not as of late been bothering you. You literally was like, are you on a date? You gonna be my wife again? And Martell was like, I ain't say all that shit. I don't want you to be my wife again. Boy, you know damn well you said that. He was like, well, I mean, why are we even discussing this? You trying to get your dude some airtime? He was like, that's what you flaunt in our favorite restaurant. So he pulled out his phone and he shows a screenshot of the guy that she was on a date with. The fact that your ass is up here taking pictures like a little woman says everything about you, sir. Like, oh my God, if this man ain't so bitch made. Like, I told y'all, he is a stage 5 clinger. Mill, you better watch a motherfucking back and have security at all motherfucking times. That nigga's crazy. He is gonna lose his goddamn marbles when that woman, like, literally get engaged or get married again. Like, child cheese. So he shows her the picture of the guy, and Mel was like, I'm single. And he was like, do better. She was like, oh no, nigga, you do better. She was like, you don't see me saying anything about the women you sleep with. Martell told him, so stop. People are around. Oh, you don't want Fred to overhear? You don't want the neighbors to hear that you bitch made, that you a puss ass nigga? Boy, bye. So, Mel was like, what was you recording us for? You're being disrespectful. He told us, of course I'm going to be disrespectful. Mel was like, for what? I'm not your woman no more. Like, what about that? Don't you understand, sis? Girl, Mel is better than me because ain't no way in here I'm gonna sit up here and argue with a nigga that look like he an extra from Castaway. Boy, bye. Get the fuck out of my goddamn face. But Mel needs to learn that every time he says something to her does not mean that she needs to give him a reaction. And, you know, they both say the same thing. She say something below the belt or say something that make me mad. I'm gonna say something back. He say something to me, I'm gonna say something back. Like, when are one of y'all gonna grow the fuck up and realize that every dig don't deserve a fucking response? Let me tell you something. When you get my age, and hell, it ain't even about me being 40 because I was already on this type of time years ago. But when you have something traumatic happen to your life, I'm about to preach a word right about now. When you have something traumatic in your life, like how when I got sick back when I was 31 years old, almost died or whatever, had to have multiple surgeries, had to have a colostomy bag, had to have a reversal surgery, had to have my ovaries and fallopian tubes removed, can't have children anymore after 31, had to recuperate from all of that. Then to years later, when I'm 39, discover that I have breast cancer. When you go through things like that, let me tell you something, what you value most in life, and that is peace. And when you go through something traumatic like that, you don't want nothing to come into your life that's going to disrupt your peace. Because when you go through something traumatic like that, you realize what is most valuable in life. And that is joy, happiness, peace, having fun, laughter. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the fruits of your labor, family and friends, you know what I'm saying, experiencing the blessings and enjoying the blessings that God has bestowed upon you. When you done been through something life-changing like that, you don't have time to argue and bicker with nobody. And if somebody even dares to bring that energy your way, you gonna cut it off right at the motherfucking white meat, because you don't have time for it. I refuse to let anybody come into my space and disrupt the peace that I have worked so hard to achieve. And when you want to protect yourself and your peace and your heart and your soul, you ain't got time for that. You don't have time to go back and forth with nobody, because all of that is little, minuscule when it compares to the bigger picture. And I pray that both of them realize the bigger picture before they both hit their goddamn rock bottom, because God is giving them pebbles on their head, little pebbles on their head. Y'all better get it together. Y'all better get it together. And if y'all don't listen, God gonna throw a motherfucking boulder on y'all goddamn heads. Protect your peace and protect y'all children, because y'all children are going to be affected by all of this. Me as a mother who was in a toxic relationship at one point in time, I had to then, after that toxic relationship, not only do work on myself, but do work with my child and make up for the toxicity that he was exposed to, and make him see that that's not love and that's not the way that a woman behaves. Y'all better get it together. Make sure y'all thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this review, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.